following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down, handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Buried, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Bryan Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Wow.
We have a special treat for you.
1 out of 4, so okay there, right?
Yeah. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing well, thank you, Shannon.
Good.
Appreciate
How
that.
you doing, Jesse?
I'm well, man. Happy Thursday.
Good. Nate looking spectacular today. How are you?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. And to have my two favorite guys here were full of information. And then Shannon Gross is hosting. I'm excited.
Yeah, you know, it's funny.
I'm excited.
It is when Derek put this thing together, he's like, hey, do you want to be on the show? I'm like, who's it on? Who you on the show with? You know, I used to get beat
Before
down.
I commit.
I get beat down, and I'm like, oh, no, we can do Jesse, Nate, Shannon. I'm like, all right, let's go have some fun.
So a little bit of a treat. Normally this is Talking Cowboys, but with the short bye week, we mixed it up a little bit today. So you've got Brian that's normally on Talking Cowboys.
That's me.
And then you've got, we're going to have Nick Eatman on here that's normally from the break, but Nick, he's going to have to interview Stephen Jones in the middle of the show.
That's pretty important.
So that trumps this a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I'm fresh off the unemployment line.
So Jesse was an easy fix. He's like, I'm in whenever you need.
I'll be there.
Jesse from Hangin with the Boys, Nate Newton from Hangin with the Boys.
Great
and
show, by the way,
me,
too.
Shannon
Thank
Gross
you.
from Hangin with the Boys.
Great show.
For the next hour or so, we're going to talk a little football, mix it up a little bit, try to have a little bit of fun along the way, and let's treat this like we're not quite midway through the season.
Okay.
We're 7 weeks in.
Okay.
Midway's 8. Let's act like we're halfway because it'll be more fun.
Is this
if
a
we do that.
Louisiana thing?
Yeah.
I think it's Louisiana math.
I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah. You know how that
Yeah, I
works.
know what you're doing here.
Let's start off. What has been the biggest surprise for you guys so far this season?
Inconsistency of the defense. I think, coming out of Oxnard, boys, I didn't know what you guys thought. But as I was watching this, I was thinking, man, this defense is going to help this offense. And I was thinking, man, okay, the secondary is going to make plays. The linebackers are got that elite look about themselves. They're going to figure out this defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Human Log's going to get in there and do some good. And then Malik Collins. I think every week I've said, well, if they stop the run, oh, well, if they get pass rush, oh, well, if they get more turnovers. I've had more questions about this defense than I have the offense, even though that the offense got shut out against, I think New Orleans just kicked their ass up front.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand why that happened. Mm-hmm. But, man, this defense to me has been one big roller coaster ride as far as evaluating each week.
Yeah. Nate, what about you?
I want to say that secondary, man, how they played in training camp and the turnovers they was getting and things like that, which equates to what Broaddus is saying for us the front end. I just knew D-Law, Quinn, Human Law, and I thought Malik Collins would probably have 6 sacks at this point.
Sure.
But and with the rotation of all those other guys, Christian Covington, and then what's my young guy who came along real well, 51.
Kerry Hyder.
Oh man, I'm thinking that with this rotation, our secondary is gonna have 8 or 9 picks at this point. And what second week Woods ran off and left one.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. The
Jeff Heath got hit in the head one time and then missed another one. Yeah.
So with the consistency of this defense, we saw this past week. If they play, they'll put our offense in position to score.
Yeah.
And I think I've had to answer, and you've probably had to, and you probably had to answer the same question because people will say, well, how come we don't get this guy? How come we don't get this guy?
Yeah.
And we should have got a defensive. When you look at what it was in training camp and you look at what it was in OTAs, you were looking and saying, you know what, fellas?
Yeah.
Pretty damn good because you have to assume when this defensive line is going up against guys like Travis Frederick and Zach Martin,
Exactly.
and Tyron
Yeah,
Smith,
exactly.
and you're saying, wait a second now.
Doing all right.
They're doing all right against what most of the league deems as damn good football players.
I totally agree with you.
So
that's a trap I fell in, Jesse.
Right, and it's and we had Chris Hall here yesterday, and even as from a scout perspective, as you're sitting out there watching, you're going, wait a second, Kerry Hyder and Malik Collins and Antoine Woods, man, they're holding their own against what we deem to be a pretty good offensive line.
Right.
Maybe we don't have to go out and mortgage the house to go get a McCoy or Sue or something like that. We'll just go with these guys because they look pretty good from what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And then to carry on with Chris Hall told us, he said, this is the most depth we've had in every position, so we wasn't worried. So wow.
But guys, did we misevaluate the depth?
Yes, we did.
I'm talking about myself. I'm pointing the finger. I'm looking at the man in the mirror, as Michael Jackson would say.
But let me say this before what is depth, right? Because we always say, oh, yeah.
But how about the quality of the depth?
That's it.
See, that I was thinking, okay, Kerry Hyder. I'd seen Kerry Hyder, in Detroit, when he's in a 3-4 scheme, he can't play the nose. Put him wide, let him rush. So I'm starting to think of that. And then they draft a guy like, with Tristan Hill. I'm thinking, okay, Tristan Hill getting in. He's 21 years old, but has he gotten better? I haven't seen him get better each week, and that's a problem to me. I've been waiting for Dorrance Armstrong. They keep saying, well, Dorrance Armstrong, he's doing a good job. He's doing this, and I don't see him. We get in a game, and I don't see that. And so I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe I misevaluated the depth of this team or the quality. Of the depth.
Yeah.
And that it's one thing to have players 40, 41, 42, 43, but players 40, 41, 42 could be Joe Thomas, who I've seen Joe Thomas play well.
Yes, sir.
That's good
Yes,
depth.
sir.
Sean Lee basically backing up last week, getting in. That's depth. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen the depth in the defensive line like I thought I would.
And could an issue with that be the number of snaps they're asked to play, right? Because if I have a backup
Christian
guy,
Covington was 51 back-to-back and a couple of times when the human log was out.
You see, so it's like, these guys will be good in spurts.
25
15
or less snaps.
There you
right?
go,
20 snaps a game.
Yes.
Right? And now those guys can have impacts because they're fresh and it's a different look.
Right.
But when they get a beat on you a little bit and they wear you down and they're hanging on you and the game has kind of produced itself, you look up and you go, wait, we didn't want him to play. We didn't want tackle 2 or tackle 3 to play 40 snaps.
Because our D-line, the way Marinelli got this going, our D-line dictates the success of our linebackers. Not saying that our linebackers can't be great without a great defensive line, but if they're going to be super, these guys up front have to ball.
Yeah, but weren't we thinking, guys, about this whole thing, about this tackles for loss and negative plays, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith? I mean, we finally saw some negative plays last week. Vander Esch gets a tackle for, I think, 3 or 4.
But Malik played better. The log was there.
Okay. But how about those guys generally just playing better on their own?
That's the tackling. That's where you have to tackle better.
Yeah.
But when Brooks and those other guys played with Marinelli in his young days, they had a 3 technique.
Derek Brooks in Tampa, right?
Yeah, they had the guys, and these linebackers, one of them in the Hall of Fame.
They were clean.
Yeah, they were clean.
They weren't having to deal with the muck and the trash of defeating 300-pound, tackles and guards, getting the second levels and blocking.
My opinion was muck.
Modern day Nate Newton.
Yeah. That's a mucky opinion.
That's good stuff, guys. We're going to take a break. When we come back, those were kind of surprises that were kind of shortcomings. I want to know what your surprises are that you didn't see coming on the positive side.
Okay.
Whenever we come back from this break on Talkin Cowboys.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Welcome back to Talkin Cowboys. Kind of.
Yeah.
One.
Shannon Gross joined by Bryan Broaddus of Talkin Cowboys.
That's me.
Jesse Holley of Hangin with the Boys.
Yeah.
Nate Newton looking smashing today in his, what is that? Is that
That's
fuchsia?
Magenta.
I don't
Magenta?
know
That
what
is
it is,
magenta.
man.
I
That's
like the
magenta.
tie. Did you
Mrs. was
tie
involved
that?
this morning.
Yeah, my wife put it out.
Did your wife pick your clothes out today?
Always, man. Y'all know if I'm coming, there ain't gonna be no collar. It's gonna be a collar shirt, short pants.
You look good.
Shower shoes.
Yeah, I'm coming like a brother.
You look good. Why are you so dressed up today?
I did a show, special edition.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Show too.
Broaddus does his deal right before. What's the name of the little hit you do in the morning?
Oh, we did Cowboys this morning.
Yeah.
We did that last week. This is the
Yeah.
first time we did that together, though.
So, hey,
Yeah.
we all do multiple things, such as you, Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
do
y'all are
multiple
actually
things.
good at things that y'all do.
Don't say that.
Yeah, you're good.
They,
Y'all are
they
really
threw you on
good.
this show.
Yeah,
They must have thought something of you.
I don't think anyone else was available. It's the bye week. Speaking of bye week,
yeah.
before we get back into football, you got plans this weekend?
LSU plays Auburn at 2:30 on Saturday, but I'm going to get out there and wet a line.
Ah.
I'm going to wet a line. I'm going to go do a little fishing.
What kind of fishing?
A little bass fishing.
Little
If I can-
bass?
I'm going to try and find them. Weather changing,
Yeah.
Fishing.
Okay.
Fishing report.
What about you, Jesse? What you got this weekend?
Laying low, got one of my mentors turning 67. Going to a birthday party.
There you go.
Yeah.
Free food, Jess. Way to go.
Yes, great food. It'll be great food.
Jesse likes the free food.
Jesse's not afraid to eat.
Nate
Anything's
likes
free.
Nate likes free anything. Jesse's all in on the food. Nate stole my pen yesterday on our show, and I called him out, and he didn't even unzip his backpack to give it back.
Hey, I'm about to get
That's
that
a nice one. You better hang
No,
on.
this is the
I've
one.
had it.
This is the
I've
one
had
that Nate uses during when we do our pre and post game show. Nate uses his pen, and we had a 3-game losing streak, and we couldn't find it, and we started winning the game, and I go, here you go, Nate. Nate kind of went, pushed it away.
What you doing this weekend, Nate?
I'm leaving up out of here, driving to Florida, going to a class reunion.
There you go. Have fun.
Yeah.
You
That'll
didn't tell
be
us about
fun.
that.
Going back to A&M?
Yeah, man.
Oh, there'll be some honeys there.
Yeah, but you know what? I hope they don't look like me.
We need to talk about that on Hangin on
I might come back for that one. I might
Well,
need to-
we want you back.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Tuesday. All right, fellas. So we talked about biggest surprise this season. Nate, you and Broaddus were kind of surprised about how the defense kind of underperformed from what you had projected with training camp.
Yes.
Jesse, start with you. What's your biggest positive surprise? What are you like? Wow, I didn't see that coming on kind of on the positive side.
The attacking Dak Prescott. That part I didn't see coming. And we heard all the stuff happening in the offseason.
Attacking like us attacking him on the media side or attacking him throwing the ball?
him throwing the ball.
Yeah,
aggressive.
okay, I got you. Okay.
Him being an attacking.
Because people will do that too.
They will. I've done it in the past.
Oh,
as well.
no, hey.
Yeah.
I'm that meme.
Yeah. But Dak's ability now to attack in the passing game down the field, and he's doing it with a level of accuracy.
Yeah.
And that to me, because you hear all the time, guys, in the offseason, I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to work on that, I'm going to work on this. You see the growth. You see the growth where the mechanics have changed, where the balance has changed, and that's a combination of I put a lot on Dak for wanting to do the work, but getting with Tom House, getting with John Kitna, and really trying to hone in on those things where you saw balls were sailing high or coming short. And for him, who doesn't have the natural Jay Cutler or Matthew Stafford or Aaron Rodgers, we call it arm talent, where those guys can just, they close their eyes and throw it from any angle and it'd be a dart.
Right.
For guys like Dak, he has to be there. His balance has to be right. He can't be stepping in the bucket, stepping up into his throws, following through. All of those things for him has to be on point. And I just saw the consistency with that this year. And even through the 3-game, losing streak, his balance and his passing downfield, his willingness to attack downfield, which he really wasn't doing it before, that is one has been a real big surprise.
And you've been a critic of Dak in the past.
Yes.
And you came on our show this year after the first game or two and said that you noticed a remarkable difference in his footwork, his mechanics. So you've noticed that physically.
Yes. Yeah. No, you can see it. And you can see the way and you hear the term all the time, how, the ball jumps off his hands or the ball comes out hot. You can see the delivery is different. You can see the way that the passes are coming are different. And he's throwing receivers open. To a lot of times in the past, it would have to be they're open and then throw it. And that's a college mentality where a player comes open and then you throw it. The NFL is, if you're throwing it once he's open, you're late. Yeah. You have to have the ability to throw him open into open windows, to open, touchdowns. I've seen that more from him this year than I have in the prior 3 years.
Nate, biggest surprise so far?
And it came late. A whole lot too late for me. That's number 27, Jordan Lewis. I want this kid to get some reps. He's a good, decent blitzer. He's a hell of a tackler. The only way you get better is to cover, and they got to give him some reps.
Yeah,
I think he's a positive. And Brian, even I want you to talk about that before you go into who you're surprised. But Jordan Lewis, give him a shot.
Yeah, no, he needs to play.
The eyeball test, we all want to see him play more. What are you seeing on film? Why is he not getting the opportunities?
He's the one guy that when you watch him play on defense that has a huge heart. And you could tell it bothers him when it doesn't go well. I'd like to see more guys have the passion of, if you miss a play, put it out of your mind, come back and be a better player for it. And I think Nate is absolutely right. Jordan Lewis might be shorter than what you have the prototypical, what they want here, but there's nobody out there that's more competitive than him in the secondary. The way that they play, the way they need, Nate's right, they need to use him more. Hopefully, it sounds like that Anthony Brown will be back for the Giants game. But I hope this doesn't mean that Jordan Lewis has to go to the bench. I'd like to see if Jason Garrett always tells me about competition, we like to see guys compete. Open it up then. Open it up and let these two really go at it. And whoever the best one is in practice that week, put them on the field and let them go.
What's been your biggest surprise so far?
Well, my biggest surprise on offense, I had no idea what Travis Frederick was going to do. Coming back from that illness.
Beret.
Yeah, I had no idea. And, I think there's been some really positive things with him. There's a couple of times where, as Nate always taught me, evaluate offensive linemen for 70 plays. Don't evaluate them for the one or two that they might miss. But I didn't know what to expect. But I think is he at a Pro Bowl level? No. But is it nice to have him back there, the big brain, the ability to help, to do things inside? I think last week those guys were outstanding up front against a really good front. And so I like that. But my biggest surprise on this, the biggest thing is, I thought that Michael Gallup was going to have a good season, and I know he had a bad game against the Jets. But I know I'm glad to be on the show with Jesse because he knows about wide receiver play. If Amari Cooper is 1, I think Michael Gallup is 1A. Really? I really do. I think he's a 1. I think he could be I think he's a 1. I think he can be that 1. But he didn't play like that against the Jets. And it disappointed me. But that was something I was thinking, okay, he's going to get the chance to shine here. And he kind of spit the bit on me a little bit. I needed him to have a huge game against the Jets, and he had the drops, unfortunately. But where he was last year to where he is now, I think you can rely on him. Again, withstand the one game, but overall, though, I really do like the way he's going.
And to your point, you're absolutely right. And here's what happens a lot of times with young wide receivers. When things aren't going well, you always want to be the guy who does the next great thing.
Right.
How can I be the next whatever it is for my team? And the Cowboys are going on a losing streak, and then you think to yourself, man, if I can just get one of these and go to the house, start fast, start early. You forget the small fundamental things, like just simply looking the ball in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you get to this level, it's so elementary that you forget. Because all I'm thinking about now is, man, we started fast the last couple games. Started slow the last couple games.
I got to make a play.
I got to make a play.
Yeah.
Amari's not here. Because here's the thing. When you're in that group, that receiver group or that offensive lineman group, and I think the offensive linemen have in all of football, the tightest group.
Oh, by far, yeah.
You communicate one another. So I'm sure Amari was talking to Michael like, man, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to go today, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
So in Michael's head, he's saying, man, I got to step up. And sometimes you forget.
Push too much.
Those little things, and that's what the drops.
Trying to do too much. Yeah, but I still have a lot of confidence in him. I love the player. I really, really do.
All right, we got to take another break. When we come back, the division is getting fun, and it's not getting easier for the Cowboys. Getting a little bit easier for the Eagles down the stretch. Let's look at what the rest of the season looks like in this division when we come back on Talkin Cowboys.
Apartment's big. Such a great deal?
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
It's right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus!
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store and learn how to buy one smartphone and get a second one on us. Based on GWS 1 score, September 2018.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay, and of course with yours truly, me, Bryan Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Work the Cowboys way and channel the winning business tradition of the Dallas Cowboys and the Jones family at Formation. This dynamic workspace provides an elevated work experience on the Star's aspirational campus with exclusive membership options available to meet varying needs. Choose from open workspaces, dedicated desks, and private offices to leverage our home field advantage for your individual business success. Limited memberships are available now, so apply today at formationatthestar.com.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
We are back with Hangin with Talkin Cowboys. That's what we're going to call it the last two segments of the show.
There you go. You should.
Talking Cowboys with the boys.
Got Bryan Broaddus to my right of Talkin Cowboys. We got Jesse Holley to his right of Hanging with the Boys. Nate Newton to his right of Hanging with the Boys. I had to turn my body to make sure I got that right.
A lot of rights going on here.
A lot of rights. And then one more to the right of Nate, Shannon Gross, host of Hanging with the Boys. Check out all of our other shows. Check out The Break, too. We were supposed to be represented there with Nick Eatman today.
They do a good job.
Doing an interview with Steven today, so he couldn't make it. But if you're not familiar with our programming, go to DallasCowboys.com and check it out. And real quick before we get back into it, got a shout out to our sponsor, Tommy John. Put Tommy John on your end zone. Underwear that's guaranteed to never, ever ride up. Trust me, I wear it. This is no joke. I have a pair on today.
There you go.
It was fate when I wore that today. I didn't know I was going to read this. It's like nothing you've ever worn before. Plus, it's backed by the best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free guarantee. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. I don't know what they do with those underwear if you give them back.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I hope I don't have a pair of those on.
No.
Do you have something before we start, Nate?
They box them up with those loser championship T-shirts for the other team. And they ship
to
them
another
off.
country.
They ship them off.
You know what's amazing is, Nick Eatman's, is over there doing the thing with Steven as we speak, right?
Yeah.
Should be, yep.
And we was doing a show, and we was doing this little good morning thing, which Broaddus has done before. And we doing it. And as soon as it was over, we would try to break it down. But they told us Steve was coming. They didn't even ask for our mics back.
No.
They just like killed like fire ants, man.
Let me tell you.
Jones is coming. I'm like, wow, bro.
Nate, you know this.
Yeah.
How many times? I'll try not to.
No, go ahead.
How many times have I been like on the Cowboy pregame show, and I followed Jason and then before Jerry, and I'll get maybe 4 words out. Well, you need to look at this. Okay, Bryan, thank you very much. They see Jerry coming out of that tunnel. Scott Purcell's over there going, break.
The Jones is coming, boy. It changes, boy.
If you follow one and before the other, then you're
at the mercy of that schedule.
They're ripping that IFB thing out of your ear. You're down on one knee. Oh, God, give me that mic,
There are very few people that you throw the schedule out the window for whenever they're available. But
Hawaii was a great. We were in Hawaii.
Those are two people that you definitely alter the schedule whenever they're available.
They are the ones who
because we see checks with their names.
Trust me, I got one. I got that peripheral working. As I'm talking to the camera, I've got. Oh, there's Jerry. Okay, hey, well, good to be with you, Lindsay. Thanks. Move on.
Because you know why? Because they are
the star.
The star.
Oh, this is part of
the star.
I learned this. Okay.
Yeah, the star. All right, I don't know how we should go about this because I want to get into two different things. I want to get into what the rest of the season looks like, but I also want to get into what is this team because I don't know if I know what this team is.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So let's go that direction first. The first 3 games of the year, this was a brand new offense. Kellen Moore's a genius. Holy cow, Dak Prescott we've never seen this. He's the second coming of Tony Romo. He's making these plays. The next 3, it's like, wow.
Bad losses.
What happened? Did they forget how to play defense? Did they forget how to play offense? What's going on? And then this last game against the Eagles, it's like, we're going back to the Super Bowl. Here we go. Our fans are back on the train. Let's go. We're going to Miami. So, Broaddus, start with you. Does this team have an identity, or do they even need an identity? But what's going on?
I'd like to believe that they're a team that strives for balance to sometimes the detriment of the fan base. Mm-hmm. They will run the ball as fans would think as nauseum. Like, why would you do that? Why would you? But, I think there's some rhyme or reason for young Bill Walsh, and I'm talking about Kellen Moore. Call him young Bill Walsh. And, but to me, there was growing pains with him. I think there's been growing pains with him. I think that he's been handicapped at times, like the Jets game. I think he was handicapped with his game plan because he didn't have Amari Cooper. And then guys that he was trying to call plays for didn't help him out. They didn't really. Both tackles were out. By the way, guys, I think if they play a game without Tyron Smith, they're going to lose. That's just how I feel now. I mean, you talk about, well, the MVP is Dak, MVP's Amari. No, it's really Tyron Smith.
Even if he's a 80% Tyron Smith.
Yeah, Tyron Smith is, when he's in the lineup, it makes the offense run that much better. But I think that Kellen was down some players defensively. I don't think they really. They were looking at themselves. We had that whole big segment we were talking about. Where's the defensive line? Where's the pass rush? Where's the run stopping defense? Where are the guys? Where's the turnovers? I think that they've played in spurts of brilliance, and then what? Kind of thing. And I think that's the biggest problem because you can't say what's the one thing this team can hang their hat on. I don't think you could say there's one thing that they can hang their hat on. Maybe it's their offensive line when they're all healthy. But I don't know what – to me, it's a very confusing – because I think Philadelphia's got a really good offensive line. I really do, even though minus the left tackle. That first-round kid that they had in there is not a bad player. I mean, he was one of my top 15 guys on my draft board last year. And I feel like, though, that they got after them. But why the week before did they not get after the Jets?
Yeah.
Who's given up 1 million sacks this year?
Because it came with 1+, Bryan Broaddus. You saw that on film. It came with 1+.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go into a slump, and you can't get out of it. And it's up to your coaches to design something to help you get out of it. That's what they did. But this identity is Zeke, and it will always be Zeke. With a touch of Amari to keep things loose, with a touch of Dak, with a touch of Michael Gallup.
But the fan will argue with you on that's no. It should be Amari.
Hand it to him. Throw it to him. Toss it to him. You saw the different ways they gave it to Zeke. And then when Amari's on fire and when Gallup is doing his thing, how can they be stopped?
Yeah.
Jesse, what do you think the identity, or do they have an identity yet?
I don't think they have one.
Do they need one?
Yes. From the player perspective, because guys want to know, what are we? And we heard Zeke tell it a couple weeks ago in an interview. I want to know what we're going into this game plan doing.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I program myself as a player. All right, we're going to do this. All right, let me get my mind right to do this. Let me prepare to do this. Little technical things to get this done right. The biggest problem with this team, and that's why we've seen this roller coaster thing happen all year long, is they don't know. I think there is you have Jason Garrett, who is not calling plays on Sunday. But he is in the offensive game planning mix with those guys. So you have a mixture of what Jason Garrett is and his core principles. And then you have what Kellen Moore is and his core principles, and then everyone else who's in that conversation. So now everyone's throwing things into this, to use your Louisiana term,
gumbo.
Into this gumbo.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when it's cooked right, boy, give me a second bowl.
Yeah.
But when you forget the sausage or the fish, the shrimp is old, the Xanaran, whatever it is, now you got a bad batch. I think this team doesn't know quite right now what they are, and that's why you're seeing the inconsistencies with the offense and the way that they're going.
It's a good saying.
Some people like sausage, some people like crab meat, some people like Amari, some people like Zeke. It don't make no difference. But put it in the gumbo.
Who you like?
Yeah, I love it all, man. Yeah, I love it all.
It doesn't matter what you put in. You just need to eat on Sunday.
As long as them hot boys on fire, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take our final break. When we come back, let's look at the schedules down the stretch and kind of how we think this season's going to play out.
You already know.
Is it good?
You already know.
Is it bad?
You already know.
Is it going to come down to the last game like it normally does in the NFC East? We will find out when we come back on Talkin Cowboys.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
We are back to hanging with the Talkin Cowboys guys. Bryan Broaddus to my right, Jesse Holley across from me, Nate Newton looking just so pretty.
Dapper Dan.
Man,
I ain't never been
like
pretty.
that
I look
tie.
all right. I don't want to do that look all right.
All right, you look all right.
I look all
You look
right.
all right.
But like I told that young lady one time, you may not look at me, but if you let me talk to you for more than a minute,
I got you.
Oh, girl,
I got
you.
you.
Something special.
Everything you learned in this show, it's amazing.
I got
Maybe that's my problem. No lines.
No lines. Huh?
No lines.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back into the remaining schedule since we're close to the halfway point.
What do you think has to win the division? Give me the record. How many games you have to win the division here? You think? Let's start with that. 10.
I got him at 10. I had him at 10-6 at the beginning of the
So
year.
you think Philadelphia's just going to tank it though, right?
Oh no.
No. You think Philadelphia's coming back?
I think it's going to be 11 to win the division,
man.
or it could be 10
really?
with a tiebreaker.
If that's the case, Shannon, you better find a way to win 7 games. Then, can you win 7 games out of your remaining schedule you're about to go through?
That is a great
That's rock
question.
and roll, baby. I feel good about this thing.
How good do you feel about the Giants game?
Oh, great.
Feel great about the Giants?
Great.
Jesse, how about you?
Yeah, I feel
That's
good
your
about
backyard, right?
Yeah, I feel good about the Giants.
How do you feel about the Vikings at home on a Sunday night?
Dog fight. Ooh, this is gonna
I'm
be a
excited.
dog fight.
That's a balanced team right there playing defense.
I'm excited about that game because I think that game, after you should whip the Giants, I think that's a game that shows you, okay, this is what this team's about. Are they for real? Or are they not for real?
Well, you've lost to 2 teams that are likely playoff teams when you start talking about the Saints and the Packers. Mm-hmm. So you better figure out how to beat some of these teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I personally, if you win the division, I think Minnesota is going to be the team you're going to play in the wild card. That's who I think. Maybe I might be wrong about this. Minnesota, Seattle, maybe the 2 wild card teams. Mm-hmm.
So what you're talking about is Green Bay.
I think Green Bay,
49ers, and the Saints is the top 3 dogs.
Yeah, I do.
It's getting good, bro.
Well, if that's the case, like I say, I think Minnesota's going to find a way to get in, and then Seattle. I mean, I think the Rams are dead myself.
You think?
I think the Rams are dead.
So if you don't win that game against the Vikings and you have to play them in the wild card game, I mean, you're talking about now you're having to go to Minnesota.
Well, no, because if you win the division,
Green Bay gonna win their division.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, you might be playing a Minnesota Viking team that has 11 wins.
Right, I got you.
And now you're that's kind of the way that things work. But I'm just I think that Minnesota game is going to be huge. I do. I think I think the Detroit game is going to be a game that, to me, everybody's thinking, oh, well, it's Detroit. That place is not easy to play at.
Right.
It's something always bad happens at that place.
That's one of those.
You drive up, it's a warehouse.
Yeah. That's one.
You're like, oh, we're here at the warehouse, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we get a holding call in the last 2 minutes of the game, or they throw the ball 80 yards down the field, or Jeff Heath can't make a play.
Or they fake spike it and just,
exactly. There's always something happening at Detroit.
It's like
why did you have to put Jeff Heath in there?
What happened?
Has he done to you?
No, I love Jeff Heath. He's I'm a defender of Jeff Heath. I'm just saying.
Really? But you just said he was.
It happens. Am I right? The ball went down the field.
I'm wearing blood red the whole week we play Minnesota. Because I'm telling you, because it's going to be bloody. I think I'm just rip out my nails, man, and just bleed
the one
all
thing
over
is
the table.
you got a good feeling against how to play Kirk Cousins. He'll throw for 400 yards, but you find a way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know, that's... Okay, Lions and Patriots. Okay, I'm from the school of you're supposed to win a game that you didn't you think you were going to win.
I'm with you.
Okay.
You lost the Jets game. You lost the Jets game. We thought, oh, they're going to win.
Okay.
Can they beat the Patriots?
It would not surprise me.
Is that no? Jesse
says no. It would not surprise me.
Are you saying no because you think defensively they will shut down what you do offensively?
No, I think because Tom Brady
or Jason Garrett versus Bill Belichick.
That's not even a match.
Oh, I knew I wasn't going there.
That's not but I think just Tom Brady is going to figure out a way
to move the ball on you.
Yeah, and then now you add in Mohamed Sanu. By the time he gets to that point, he'll be a well-oiled machine. And what Bill loves is route runners. Mm-hmm. And if we're not getting to the quarterback, and honestly, it doesn't really matter with the Patriots, they find the matchup that they want, and they exploit it.
Yeah.
You're
not wrong about that.
And over again.
But couldn't you see this team, though? They play
Jesse's
up to
not
their
wrong
competition,
here, by the way.
and they play down to their competition. Couldn't you just see them going in there and sneaking one out?
I think they're going to – the game that they might win that I didn't think when I looked at the schedule initially was the Chicago game. I didn't. All bets are off going to Chicago in December.
They better
That's
win
going to be
Minnesota.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying there. I was just trying to go through game by game by game.
And I'm with you. I'm with you.
You got to find a way. If you're going to get to 10 games.
We never decided on Minnesota. We never decided what is our faith on Minnesota, Broaddus, and then I'll move on.
Sunday night game. I'm against Mike Zimmer. I'm saying that Gary gets the best of him there.
Okay, all right. Now I can move on.
Okay. But then I had questions about Detroit.
Okay.
That's a scary game to me.
That is a really scary game.
The Lions have been in every single game and should have won a lot of them, except the one.
Right.
Brett Maher kicked the field goal to beat him last year.
But
here.
the Lions are tough out,
and they're figuring it out.
They haven't found a way to finish.
Yeah,
they just haven't found a way to
Kansas City on the ropes, didn't they?
They had every team except the
Green Bay and the refs helped them not have them on the line.
Yeah, that was in Lambeau too.
Yeah,
this is a good football team that just haven't figured. And this comes along with the growing pains of having a second-year coach and new. If they find a way to finish. This team is a dangerous team, especially on the road. I'm not saying that we're going to lose to them. I'm just saying don't just write Detroit off.
Jesse's killed any hope we have to win at New England.
Yep.
That means Buffalo on 5 days after that.
We got them
at home Thanksgiving.
You can wipe that one up, bro.
Really?
Because
Buffalo on defense is good.
Let me tell you something. This is the key to playing. This is Thanksgiving game, right? This is the key. Stay within 3 to 7 points. They will tire. They will tire out, and you will take this game. I'm telling you. So just Cowboys. That's a sure enough win.
You heard it here. You heard it here.
If they play, all you have to do is play mistake free. Play hard and play mistake free. You can beat Buffalo. But don't give them life. Any team that has a defense, don't ever give them life.
Okay, how do you feel about a Thursday trip to Chicago on December 5th?
I'm feeling better.
Okay.
Are you feeling better? You ready to dress better this time than the last time you went there?
Worst experience of my life last time we were there.
What did you think going to Chicago?
I didn't know it was going to be the second coldest game in Cowboys history. I had plenty of clothes, but it didn't matter. It was so cold at that game, Jesse.
I lived in Green Bay 5 years. It's the coldest I've ever been in my life.
A buddy of mine bought a beer at the concession stand. By the time he got it back to his seat, he turned it upside down, and it was frozen solid. It was miserable.
All right, we got then the Rams. I've stuck a big fork in the Rams. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong to think about.
What do y'all think about the Rams?
Rams at home after the Bears. You got 10 days before you play them.
Before we get to that, I know we got a hairpin wrap up. I'm just saying, Patriots, Bills, Cowboys. I'm afraid of that that Bears game because of the way those 3 games in 12, 14 days. Yeah. That's going to be a physical football game. That is going to be old school football. It's going to be cold. It's going to be the ground's going to be hard. Yeah. The football's going to be like a brick. Yeah. It's going to be
Nate tells me running games travel.
It's going to be what line is going to dominate that game. Yeah. Just look at that game as one of those games.
Jesse has us not making the playoffs.
Jesse's just trying to get this 10-6. Don't pay attention.
Hang on. You know what? Hang on. I got some issues with this.
What's that?
Let's pause this. Let's go to these. I want to spend some more. I want to go back to Buffalo and talk about Chicago. I want to spend a little more time on this because Jesse has us missing the playoffs. Now, I got an issue with that.
No, I don't. I never said we're going to lose. I'm just saying we can't breeze through these games.
Okay.
Don't you think
I don't want to.
Not with this team, you can't.
I don't want to breeze through this schedule.
This dude.
You need to breathe. All right. We'll be right back.
We're going to trade him.
We'll be right back.
Trade him,
to Miami. Let me go to Miami.
Oh, Talkin Cowboys.
You going to Talkin Cowboys. You come, we getting the Hangin. Go.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper Soft Coolers at OtterBox.com.
While a player can look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine a surging river of ice-cold Dr. Pepper, roaring with carbonated mists of desire. You're dangling above it, upside down, like a fishing lure in the wind. 23 flavors tickle your nose, but the river is too far away to taste. Dr. Pepper calls to you. You.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back to hanging with the Talkin Cowboy. Last segment of the show.
Talkin Cowboy.
Cowboy. Let me tell you about something, Broaddus.
Tell me about it.
Come out here on November the 24th.
I will be there.
There's a watch party.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be there. The dads hit me with the 9 route.
It's brought to you by
kids right into our set.
It's brought to you by AT&T, and it's an festive game day atmosphere out here right outside our doors on Tostitos Championship Plaza. Yeah. Cowboys are going to take on Jesse Holley's favorite team that the Cowboys have no chance of beating whatsoever. Ooh. So don't worry about watching the game, according to Jesse. Just come out and eat all the good food and hang out with other Cowboy fans.
We're going to see what Mama Gross does when we have that game. Where her jelly beans.
Is she a homer?
No.
Mama Gross, she can pick games, though, doesn't she?
Yeah, she picks them on our show.
I know, but is she a homer?
No, we're going to just see. We're going to see if she agrees with me.
Homer. She gets
LSU homer.
Yeah. LSU and Cowboys.
She should be an LSU homer.
And then she'll jump on like the Chiefs train until they burn her, and then she's off, and then she gets back on. Yeah.
I tell you what, though, she's undercover with them Saints all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Her and her partner, Miss Patsy.
Yeah. So's my son Bennett.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Closet Saints fan? Or is he out in the open?
know,
I love the Cowboys. Love going to training camp. Hey, did you see what Drew Brees did the other day? Yeah, I did.
Come out here on November the 24th. Parking and admission are free. Come see Broaddus.
Yeah, I'll be there. Me and Linz.
Yes,
doing a
great job.
It's actually a really cool atmosphere, so come check it out.
The playoff game was really cool last year, too, for that Rams game. It was a lot of fun.
I heard that was
come on out,
awesome.
because we just we'll be in the stratosphere.
Yeah. Speaking of, Jesse got us missing the playoffs. Let's reset. Let's go back to the Buffalo game.
Buffalo game.
He already, all right, we got.
I said 10-6. I really didn't mean it.
Tough game in Detroit. Getting killed in New England. Getting shut down in New England. Buffalo. Let's go to Thanksgiving.
No,
you
wait
think
a second.
they got
No. No. Because what y'all not
At
going to do
Mr.
is
Fourth and Long.
Please, you know where to find me.
He will tweet you.
Oh, no, he'll answer you back, too.
Listen, no, we're not going to hang me out here. Now, I don't mind being hung by myself. When the doctor smacked me, he ain't smack all of y'all. I came out of Monica's stuff by myself.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm okay with being by myself.
All right.
So y'all all just want to sit around here?
No,
you're
not. No.
Shannon,
okay.
I threw out the you're supposed to win a game, you might going to lose game. You never know.
Right.
You lost one. The football gods usually take care of you that way.
Let me ask y'all this, though. If the Cowboys play like they played this last week, they got a shot, right?
Pass rush, right, Jess? Pass. You
How
got to knock Tom around, right? You got to get the grass stains on the back. That's how the Giants
Got to get him off
get around his feet, right?
Got to get him off his spot, man.
Yeah.
If he's able to sit back there, there's nothing you can do.
The Giants played him really well for a half on that Thursday night game. Might have been a short week, getting ready for the Giants, but the Giants were for a half. I mean, they it's what you got to do. I don't think his numbers were all that great. I think the Giants had a couple of bad turnovers, and I'm serious.
Nate, was that indigestion or a thought about to come out of your mouth?
You talk about the New England Patriots and Tom Brady, and when you get Broaddus to go to say, "Well, I don't remember, I don't know," that is some bad thing.
No. I remember the Thursday night game where it was like it was like a 14-all game, and then the bad things.
Doors got
and then Brady had 2 quarterback sneaks for touchdowns, which he does every week.
Right.
But I don't know. Okay, you're talking about Buffalo.
All right, let's talk about
Buffalo.
Yeah. We don't. New England, yes. Move on.
But see, the thing about Buffalo again, it's a non-traditional opponent. Sometimes you catch Washington or somebody that you play normally that makes it, short week, we can get ready for Washington. We kind of know what we've played them. We know their personnel. Buffalo, to me, is a little bit different animal, too, with that quarterback that they have, Allen, and then what they've done with their defense. I mean, they've got some talent.
Over and tackle well. And that's the end of them.
That's how you survive a Thanksgiving Day game?
Yeah, don't turn the ball over and tackle well. And it's over. It's over. I mean, Buffalo's on a great run, and I'm not saying that they're going to not be second in the NFC at the AFC East.
Yeah.
But tackle and play, just don't turn the ball over.
No, can't you say that about going to New England, though, too, Nate? Can't you say that about going to the Lions and everybody else?
I'm not talking. What did you say? Who?
You're just talking about the Thanksgiving Day game. Yeah. I got you.
All right, Chicago. Let's go on to Chicago. It's going to be cold. I'll be miserable.
I'm all ears on
but
this.
I'm ready.
I want to hear what you have
That's
to say.
real
Chicago.
Football.
Chicago can't score 10 points in 7-on-7. You know, they can't. They something's bad wrong with Trubisky. They don't have any type of offensive hope. If you score 21 points against them, that puts them in a terrible bind. And I don't think they're all of a sudden going to click their fingers or snap their fingers and have this thing turn out any better.
So we feel good about Chicago.
When I picked up the schedule, I didn't initially. Mm-hmm. I thought that Trubisky would make a jump, the coach and all that, but no, I don't feel good about the Bears.
Bucky, Mike, make sure y'all pack extra for him.
Yeah, Shannon needs help.
Thank you guys.
Rams? Feel good about the Rams?
Well, we have no choice but to go with you. You said they're gonna wet the bed. So what are we gonna do?
I think they might be the third best team in that division.
Yeah, I don't look past the Rams. I think they figure it out.
Do you really?
I do. I think.
Aren't the Rams kind of in the Cowboys, Eagles, Rams? Aren't they kind of in the same boat?
They
don't
have
really know what they
50-something
are.
points to Tampa.
The thing why I don't trust the Rams, I tell you what, fellas, I love Mr. Jones, but I got to bring it to him on defense. And by that time, they've been on figure out how to use Jalen. They've been on figure out how to use Jalen. Yeah. Aaron Donald's probably be second or third in sacks. He'll be trying to pick up a few. So they're going to be rolling.
I don't know, man. That offense doesn't look the same.
It does not.
It does not look the same, and the defense doesn't look the same.
It's girlyless, man.
Watch that San Francisco game. That'll tell you a little bit.
I'm going to ride with you, Broaddus. I ain't ride with Jesse.
I do think they're doing their version of load management with Todd Gurley. I think they're going to start ramping him up in those December months and trying to get him more involved in it.
With the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams take.
All right, the Eagles.
Who knows what's going to be in that situation? Who knows? Who knows with that team? That team might implode. Really, they've got they got Buffalo at home. They got to go to Buffalo this week. They still have New England left, and they have Seattle in their schedule. Yes, they do have Washington and the Giants as well.
Cut everybody that's not about Carson Wentz except my boy on defense. Everybody else, get them out of there.
And Washington, do we even need to talk about Washington?
Well, hopefully you don't need that game. Hopefully you've got, but you're probably going to need that. It's going to need the 10th win if the way we're kind of talking about it. Yeah, it's a home game though. You might have to play to win that game.
Can't you see a scenario?
25,
Can't you
24,
see a scenario though
23,
where
22.
it comes down to the last game or two of the year, like it always does with the Eagles?
There's no question. You might have to win.
Feel like it's destined to happen.
Yeah.
Two young quarterbacks. The teams are kind of similar this year. They're trying to figure it out. You don't know. What are you talking about, Nate?
Just singing the song, Fly like it.
All right, fellas, this was so much fun.
Thank you, man.
Broaddus, thank you for letting us hang out with you guys. Jesse, always good hanging with you. Nate, good hanging with you. We will be back maybe someday, maybe not. Thanks for hanging out with Talkin